December 8th, 2011, 3:30 p.m. to be precise, was without a doubt the darkest day that I've had serving as the General Director of International Missions. That was just shortly following the board meeting where our board, after prayer and agonizing over this decision, decided then that our missionaries who were stateside had to stay home until we got our finances back up and much better shape. Then I had to sit right here at this phone and call our missionaries and tell them that they couldn't go back to their fields. And I will never forget that day. Just the silence of the tears on the other end of that line as I called them, and it was just overwhelming thinking that they, especially for our M Team Spain, they were just 2 weeks away from getting on a plane and leaving.
The day that we got the phone call from the office that we would not be able to leave for the field was really a discouraging time for us. We had literally that day been packing our house. We were getting rid of items that we were not going to take overseas with us and taking them down to the garage and getting ready for a yard sale and deciding what we were going to keep and what was going to go. And that very day was the day that we got the phone call saying that we couldn't leave, and we were just a few weeks out from that point. And so we were discouraged. It hit us like a brick wall, and even more discouraging was that we knew that meant we had to travel more. We had already traveled for over a year, and we had been through all of our training, and we were pumped and ready to go to the field. And so having to kind of backtrack and hit the roads again and start raising money, we just sort of felt like we were starting over.
It was a tough day. What was really great is the news got out, seeing the response of our people. First of all, talking to our missionaries immediately. It was tough on them, but the next thing we get from our missionaries, okay, let's go. Let's get out there and go to our churches. And pastors started calling, what can we do? And we were able to tell them, we need these things financially. We need a great world mission offering. Our staff here is, it was sort of like that dark day, and then we all turned to the light, and that's our looking to God to answer and respond and move in people's hearts and anticipating what He was going to do. And it was just really great. I felt like, a real rallying charge went out, and our people responded in a great way. Someone asked me how I was feeling about that as we began to move forward, and I said, extremely cautiously optimistic. That's where I started. But as our churches began to respond, we got calls from churches, and they were talking about their world mission offering. They said, we set this goal and we doubled it. And I think everyone that I talked to, they went beyond their goal. And it just, it was a feeling that our denomination is waking up to the call and the charge, and they wanted them to get the missionaries back, And so I found myself moving from extremely cautiously optimistic to extremely optimistic. And then we saw the income go up a little bit in January, and then February, March, and April, and May, and it began to build. And we began to think, boy, wouldn't it be great if we could go to the national and say to our national association, hey, we can let our missionaries go back to their fields. And that's what we were praying for and hoping for and anticipating. And then it came Wednesday morning, July 18th, and being able to step up to that podium and give people the good news. It was from my darkest day to my brightest day, and this one I want to hold in my memory forever and ever.
As Rob pointed out earlier, in December 2011, our board made a very tough decision to keep these missionaries home until our financial situation stabilized. Brothers and sisters, Free Will Baptist, I've got the best news in the world. Because of you and your response, our missionaries can go home. Amen? They can go home. Thank you. Thank you.
So that's the way it was, July 18th, 2012, and we want to thank you. I know that God moved in a very special way in the hearts of many people. Many of you responded. We had the greatest world mission offering we've ever had. We had great increase in income, and you responded. and we want to tell you thank you. Thank you so much for obeying God's direction in your lives, and because of that, our missionaries one by one now returning to their fields and continuing their ministry. So thank you very much.